So we have Liz Cheney. She is such a reprobate. She's out there now campaigning for Democrats. But I want you to listen to this. She's not only campaigning for Democrats, and she's such an egomaniac narcissist. It's unbelievable. But she's on PBS NewsHour, and here's the thing. These are news outlets that hated her. New York Times, CNN, Politico. These are all her new friends. Now, let's not be confused about something. They don't like her. They're promoting her to attack us. Here's what they don't understand. The more people she endorses on the Democrat side, the more the Republicans are going to turn out. So she endorsed Slotnick, I think her name is, in Michigan. I immediately took her opponent and brought him on radio. And he's an Army veteran, and he was really disgusted. He said, you know, I fought when Dick Cheney was vice president. Now his daughter comes out and campaigns for my opponent. And, of course, she's endorsed Tim Ryan against J.D. Vance. So everybody keep that in mind. She doesn't have a base in the Republican Party. She doesn't have a base in the Democrat Party. She has a base in the media. Again, they're using her because she's a nitwit and a fraud to attack us. And you see Republicans like this from time to time. Romney, some of them get hired, like at MSNBC, Nicole Wallace. Some of them are really virulent anti-Semites and really pieces of garbage, like this guy, Steve Schmidt. These are all former Republicans. Anyway, what did she say? Go.
Congresswoman, I want to begin with something that is sobering at this time, and that is the attack just a few days ago on the husband.
And she's a big liberal Democrat, too. Her husband is Al Hunt. You might remember Al Hunt, Wall Street Journal. He used to be on CNN shows with Bob Novak and so forth. Another leftist. Go ahead.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Paul Pelosi is still in the hospital. You've been a target of threats. You've had to hire.
Okay, stop. I'm sure every member of Congress has been a target of threats. I've been a target of threats. This is a huge problem. It's not a partisan problem. And the guy in San Francisco who did what he did shouldn't even have been in this country. If Gavin Newsom and the city of San Francisco had turned him over to ICE to be deported, since he had overstayed his visa and was from Canada here illegally. He's also a drug addict and a homeless guy. If they had taken him off the streets and given him whatever he needed. What else? He has a long criminal record. If he'd stayed in jail, this wouldn't have happened. These are policies that are put in place across this country by Democrat mayors, Democrat DAs, and Democrat governors. The Republicans had nothing to do with this. The nature of the rhetoric, the worst rhetoric comes out of the media. You watch MSNBC, Joy Reid, Tiffany Cross, Joe Scarborough, and the whole conga line of lowlifes over there at MSNBC, and CNN is barely any better. It's the truth. And you think about the things Nancy Pelosi has said about Donald Trump, has said about our police as stormtroopers. But Nancy Pelosi has said about you, MAGA, and other conservatives. She fights with brass knuckles. She uses the most vile language. She trashes anybody she disagrees with. She's contributed mightily to the rhetoric, but the media has contributed the most. And Liz Cheney, with the sanctimony, well, of course, it's the Republicans. And poor Nancy, because Nancy is one of the greatest figures to ever serve as Speaker. So now we rewrite history. Go.
Additional security. How did we get to this place? We know the number of threats on lawmakers has more than doubled since 2017. Why?
Well, first of all, I know all of our thoughts.
First of all, how does she know why? She's desperate to have her say Donald Trump. Desperate. I haven't watched this clip. But she's desperate. Or the Republican Party. Go.
Are with Paul Pelosi, with Speaker Pelosi, with their whole family. And I want to say a word about Speaker Pelosi. I did not really know her before I began work on the January 6th committee. I'm not sure if I had ever spoken to her, actually. But since I have been on the committee, and I say...
Been on Nancy Pelosi's committee, there's only one of two Republicans that she rubber-stamped, doing Nancy Pelosi's dirty work against Trump, Trump supporters, Trump family, Trump staff, the Republican Party, the Republican leadership, the Republican National Committee. Now she's gotten to know Nancy Pelosi. Go ahead.
Everyone knows, you know, she is a liberal from San Francisco. I'm a conservative from Wyoming. There are many, many issues, maybe most issues on which we disagree. But I think that she is a tremendous leader. I've watched her up close. She's a leader of historic consequence. She has put this committee together.
Okay, hold on now. This is like the Stockholm syndrome with her in this committee. She's a tremendous leader of historic proportions or something to that effect. She's been a very aggressive, partisan, vicious leader who violated the practices on impeachment to go after Donald Trump. She stacks these committees. She works closely with people like Adam Schiff and people like that. She refuses to condemn anti-Semitism in her caucus. I mean, I could go on and on and on with her. It's really quite shocking. I don't want to hear any more Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney is given all these platforms. And why? Because she does the Democrat Party bidding. As Rush used to say, when they're done with Liz Cheney, they'll drop her. But I'm not sure they'll ever drop her because I don't think she's ever going to stop doing what she's doing. She wants to run for president as a Republican nominee while she's going around and endorsing Democrats in tight races. Think about that.
Want to see more Mark Levin? Go to LevinTV.com and subscribe now.